Do you have no money? Do you want a free Gojo skin? Click the link in the description below or the icon right here. Alright guys, with the 1.5 anniversary of Phantom Parade right around the corner, I thought it would be a good time to see what the potential reanimated TOJI could look like in the game. Because, as you all probably know, he's basically confirmed because of that trailer we had for Shibuya, and seeing that it is like a month away on JP, it's pretty likely it's going to be him, right? So, before the actual concept, what type will he be, right? So we know for first Annie, we got our boy Sukuna, we got Yuji, and Gojo, right? Here's my boy. As like the big three, right? And you guys can all probably tell there's one color missing. I know there's Holo Purple, I know there's Mekamaru / Muta and Megumi, but I feel like they're not like the as big celebrations, right? So I feel like they'd want to do a green DPS for a big celebration, and TOJI's perfect for that. By the way, I apologize in advance, I might sound a bit weird. The curse has got me, bro. I'm a bit sick, but it is what it is, right? So, let's get into the concept, but before that, I'm gonna just please black flash that like myself more content, and let's go. So first, we've got the card art, right? And pretty simple stuff. It's gonna be either two things. It's gonna be either this, so TOJI bursting into Dagon's domain. By the way, I think Dagon's like got a 99% chance of appearing in the Phantom Metal shop, 1.5k. They'll finish off the disaster curses, and from there, I don't know if they're gonna do more curses. Like, who could they do? Just more fodder ones? I doubt they'll do the transform Mojito. I think he's gonna be a banner, and I don't know. Like, is Dagon the last one? Comment down below who you think is gonna get added in the shop after Dagon. But anyway, right? It's gonna be either this, or they could go a different route and just do him mid attack, right? I'm leaning towards this because it's a more iconic scene, but they could also do a memory of it and vice versa. But I'm standing for this one, I reckon. Just like zoom it out a little bit more and get him more dynamic, I guess. It looked fine, in my opinion. But anyway, to the skills. So, for skill 1, I've got the just a plain old playful card attack, right? So, obviously, it would be like a melee attack. And seeing that TOJI is always costing 0 curse energy, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a standard old attack that costs nothing and probably maybe increases damage received or a crit rate decrease or something like that. Skill 1's never too crazy, so I don't see this one being any different. But seeing that this TOJI did like decimate his opponent, I'd probably guess that he'd be pretty strong. I don't think he could have immortality like the Gojos, it's more his gimmick. But I feel like he's gonna have like either really high HP or really high like numbers, right? So he could obviously get, you know, all sorts of debuffs on this skill, but I'm leaning towards either nothing or just a small damage decrease or a damage taken increase or a crit resistance decrease, something like that, right? So for skill 2, I've got TOJI sharpening his playful clouds, right? When, you know, shit got serious and he started grinding up them next to each other, and you know, this will obviously be a damage buff in some form, probably just a straight up damage dole increase or a physical technique increase, because I don't think this guy's gonna have any curse technique moves. So I put a pretty safe bet on just physical technique increase alongside a damage dole increase or a crit rate increase, and this dude will be putting up some numbers, I can guarantee you that. So for skill 3, I've got a taunt of some kind, so I've got 2 ideas for it. It's gonna be, okay, so obviously he fought Dagon, but he did fight Megumi too, right? So I've got either him holding like his blade and like kind of like charging it at Megumi, get, you know, the enemy's attacks on him for a turn, he can get a damage reduction buff or something like that. Or maybe like, since it's a TOJI and he's like a tank, you know, he can take 70 hits, he can maybe like gain a damage buff for each damage, you know, hit taken. So maybe in his auto skills he could take damage, and every attack he takes, the more damage he'll do, right? Something like that would be pretty cool. But I've also got this thing here where he kind of has that cold stare he gives to those old people when he got first summoned. Or, oh no, sorry, that was from Naobito, because that's when he pulled up, and like, yeah, so either one of them would be pretty sick. But as for ult, low key, I was tossed up a few things, but I came up with just that barrage of attacks. He absolutely pummeled, demolished, decimated Dagon with, where he just stabs it into his head and just doesn't stop until he's gone, right? That's probably the safest bet in my opinion. So, you know, that was a raw scene in the show, but that's pretty much it, right? So, to reiterate, skill 1 I think will just be a standard old attack, skill 2 will be a damage increase, skill 3 will be some kind of taunt, or another attack it could be, but you know. And then skill 4, just the barrage of attacks, right? So the auto skills, obviously maybe he can like, I don't know about because the red Tojis have like the invincibility, you know, debuff thing where he can like strip invincibility and strip debuffs. This one's a little bit different because I think that was more Toji from hidden inventories thing, because he, you know, bypassed Gojo by being sneaky in that. I don't know if it will be the same for this one. He could have a gimmick where maybe he can do more damage in domains or something like that. They could do a lot with this guy, and I feel like I know why he's 1.5 anime. Because number 1, it's Toji. He's hype. Everyone loves Toji. And number 2, he's going to be OP. He has to be OP, because if you go back on the tier list, sorry, for the damage units, like, there's Hollow Purple, but he's more of like a nuclear character, like not as consistent as, you know, Sukuna, Gojo, Yuji, you know, Yuta, even the other Toji, the Maki, you know, like, he's not a consistent alt guy, because he always once he's gone, he's a nuker, right? And this Muda as well, he's pretty good, but I know he's not entirely reliant on it, but to thrive in his best conditions, he does need an entire Kyoto team, and that doesn't matter too much, but I feel like an all-around green DPS, solid straight DPS, even like a physical one, like, these are all, you know, curse technique, right? And I know Megumi's like more of a debuffer, but Yuji's our next best, right? And we need a more premium option, so I think Toji's probably perfect, but I think that wraps things up. If you guys have any ideas for Toji, let me know in the comments down below. Also, enter my giveaway, don't forget. And that is all for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to backslash like my stuff, more content. And I'll see you guys later. Peace!